So today I'm going to show you how to make homemade sauerkraut. I'm going to kind of be in a reverse order. I've already had sauerkraut fermenting for 4 weeks, and I'm going to jar it first, and then I'll go through and show you how to make it. The first part, cleanliness. I soak these in bleach, hot water, and then rinse them off in extremely hot water. Let them sit for a while so that there's no harmful bacterias that are going to kind of compete inside these jars. This is the fermenting vessel that I've got. There's a little water airlock all the way around, which allows oxygen out but nothing in. I really like it. I had already opened up this container today, and my daughter and I sampled it. For the previous 2 weeks we had been skimming off anything that was growing on top, and with this container there's not a lot. Take the little rocks out and check it out. Looks like it's great. It was very good, so we're ready to jar this. So I generally just use glass and metal. Fill the jar, pack it just as tight as it will go, and ensure that all the cabbage is maintained below the brine solution that's in here, and it'll store for months in a refrigerator. Again, just keep all the food, the cabbage, underneath the water line. This is a brine solution. Clean off the edges of the jars so that the caps and rings will fit on appropriately. I don't steam bath these things because that'll damage the quality bacteria that I'm wanting to ingest. So just close these up, refrigerate them. I ended up with 8 pints. So this is how I make it. 1 head of cabbage, a tablespoon of salt, and I use between 5 and 7 cloves of garlic. This is me smashing the cloves, taking off the hard outer shell. You can slice these up any way you want. I've got a food processor that I just add it to the cabbage so that it's mixed up as I go. Do it however you like. Cut the cabbage. I've only got a bowl big enough for about a half a cabbage, so I use half a tablespoon of salt. Put this into a glass bowl. Half of a tablespoon of salt on a half a head of cabbage, and that's going to start pulling the water out of the cabbage, and that's actually what makes the brine solution. I use caraway seeds and just sprinkle them to taste. Probably with 3 heads of cabbage I probably use 2 tablespoons. I also like the dill seed and probably use about the same amount. I actually added some dehydrated jalapenos to this a little bit later on. Mix it up so that the salt can start to pull the moisture out of the cabbage. Break up any big chunks, stir it up, and then I'm going to start packing it into the clean vessel. It's going to be real dry at this point. You're going to bruise it with this stick, really pack it in tight. Like I said, I do a half a head of cabbage, and then I pound it down, do another half a head of cabbage, pound that down, so I'm only getting about an inch of fresh cabbage each time, and you can really get hefty with it. It needs to bruise so that it can assist in pulling the moisture out. You can definitely see more liquids coming out. This is about after an hour. This is probably about 2 hours after the initial start, and you can see there's plenty of liquid in here. If you don't have enough liquid, you can add filtered water, make the water taste about like seawater, and then ensure that you keep all the food submerged. This vessel has a little cutout on the lid. Fill it full of water. That's where it's going to do the fermentation bubbling. And you know it's done when it stops. Put the date on it, and I let it ferment for about 4 weeks. I've done it up to 7 weeks. And there's the bubbling.